So for Christmas, we got those Oculus VR headsets. Basically, there are these 3D gaming headsets. You put them on and like you're in that immersive world. And one of the first games that we bought for our family, we thought it'd be good to play together, is called Beat Saber. And anybody who has a pair of Oculus headsets knows that Beat Saber is like a very big game, and it's a really simple game. You basically are this little avatar, and you bounce around, and you have like a lightsaber in your hand, and you've got to cut these things that are flowing towards you. But the things that are flowing towards you are set to music, and it's like all these popular songs. So I'm thinking, well, it's good for my fitness. It's better than aerobics. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. So I would play, and I'm playing on my son's account because obviously I'm old and unable to create my own account because it's complicated. And my son, of course, is just a speed demon at Beat Saber. I mean, he's like max hard level, and then I get in there and I'm like ultra beginner level. It drives him crazy. He says, "You're ruining my scores. All my friends see this. Like I'm acing this level." And then suddenly we're on ridiculously easy mode. So I wanted to share that with you. I think it's funny. It's cruel, but it's funny. It's something that you get to do as a mom, apparently, from time to time. Ridiculously easy mode, right? That's our topic. And that was my really long segue. What is ridiculously easy mode? Not with a game, but with life. What if you could do life on ridiculously easy mode? Does it mean you will be unsuccessful, that you will just never get ahead? Or is all that a load of made up baloney that we've been fed? Yeah, I want us to explore ridiculously easy mode, how that would look, how that would feel, what it would yield, how we would feel if everything was just easy for us going forward. So stay with me as we dive into episode number 680, Ridiculously Easy Mode of Flow Dreaming. Flow Dreaming. It's a show where we talk about the power of your mind to change your world around you, to literally affect the fabric of your reality. We talk about this feeling of hope and joy and relief. And that is what being aware of your flow does. It gives you a feeling of power again in your lives. I'm Summer McStravick, and welcome to another episode of Flow Dreaming. So there's been another term in the news a lot recently called goblin mode. You guys, I am a secret. I'm a closet gamer. I'll admit it. Goblin mode, though, is more, it doesn't really reference games. It kind of talks about how we are not the perfect things that we see in all of those TikTok and Instagram reels and Facebook reels. The perfect makeup and the perfect nails and the perfect hair and the perfect life, the perfect parenting, the perfect baby food, the perfect muscles, the perfect body. How we are anti those. Goblin mode is, a 6-pack of Diet Coke and Cheetos at midnight, and you didn't wash the makeup off your face. In fact, you haven't even changed your t-shirt in 3 days. That is goblin mode. And it's existing and trending because we like to see things that are idealized. We like to see those shiny, false, almost fake best versions, right? To give us some inspiration, but they also do something opposite to us. They can make us feel insecure and inferior. So goblin mode is the antidote to that. It's where we say, screw it. This is what's real. This is what's really happening. And I bring goblin mode up because easy mode is not goblin mode. Easy mode is not something that you can't trust. That means you are not trying hard enough, that you will not be successful. So that's where I want to kind of drop in and unpack this idea with you today, because it has a mindset underpinning. It has an emotional underpinning. Give you another story. I've been spending this last week, doing a lot of creative work. I have a number of creative projects that I've started, and they're just piled up around me, essentially, on my desktop, on my literal desktop. They're everywhere. Mock-ups and all kinds of things, from audio projects, card deck projects, book projects, and so forth. And so I've been spending a lot of time just finishing them up, right? Just getting in there, being creative, doing a lot of recording. And when I'm doing this kind of work, something I notice is I look up at the clock on my computer and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 1:00 already? Wait, wow, I swear I started at 7. I did. It's been 5 hours? 6 hours? What? And what I'm amazed by is when I'm just, enmeshed in doing this creative work, it is so easy for me. It is so easy. And that sense of ease gives me so much pleasure. I love making things. It's my natural genius zone, right? This productivity zone, this making creative, adventurous place. And yet, I often restrict myself. How much can I give to that? How much time am I allowed to put in? Because I run a company and it has other demands on me. It has executive mode, running people, running staff and freelancers, and getting websites built, getting websites fixed, and taking care of banking and accounting and all marketing, right? Getting out there and helping people know, putting on sales, etc. And I have to do all of that. Or that's what I always tell myself. Lately, I've brought this, in fact, if you can't tell from my last couple, Flowdreaming podcast episodes, I've been bringing a lot of this under examination. Wait a minute, do I have to? Wait a minute, do I have to? Has become almost my catch-all phrase. And for a long time, I've had to. If I want to grow a company so it can have the ability to get all of my creative works out into the world, yes, I've had to grow a company. Right? Grow an audience, reach out, learn marketing, learn outreach. But a part of me knows the only reason I do all that is because I want to have a place for all of my creative things to be received. Now, my creative things change people's lives. They improve them. They steer them and guide them. I mean, there's a bigger meta level to all of this, the purpose behind my work. But generally, the creative stuff is my place of ease. It is ridiculously easy mode for me. And I've been wondering lately, what happens if I kind of nudge open that door a little further? What if I really give myself to that for a while? What if I come up with such an abundance of some truly good, useful, amazing things, online programs and more flow dreaming sets, or, get my card decks out or some journal, all the things that are on my little spinning list of my mind. What if I really just give myself to that and go full in? What if I enter the genius zone and let myself just stay there for a while? Why do I not trust that? It's become a real deep question for me. And my business mind says, you don't trust that because you're going to end up with a ton of stuff stacked up in your office and no one's going to know about it and no one's going to buy it. And it'll all be for nothing. And that's not what you're making all this for. You're making it for other people to enjoy and experience, change their lives. So that I'm seeing is the rationale I've built up over time, over the years. And because I've been pursuing that rationale and because it's been successful to do so, The more something you rationalize becomes successful, the harder it is to ever change it, adjust it, or let it move on with the times. And that's why I'm stepping back right now and saying, what if this needs to move on with the times? What if ridiculously easy mode, in other words, my zone of natural genius, and I'm using me as the example, but I want you to be thinking of you. What if your zone of natural genius, your ridiculously easy mode, think about something right now you can do in a heartbeat. You're great at it. It feels so good, fills you up. You love it. Think about that. I mean, and you might be like, yeah, I'm laying on the beach in Hawaii summer. That's my ridiculously easy mode. I'm like, great. Have you ever thought about travel writing? Becoming a travel influencer? Anything can be pivoted into your ridiculously easy mode. But once you've got that in your head, what if you pursued that? What if you trusted that? So going back to my silly Beat Saber game, ridiculously easy mode means that I just crush it, man. I get my little lightsaber hits every single 3D floating block coming at me because it's nice and slow. I do great at it. And I know that practicing it more and more, I'm going to move from ridiculously easy mode to easy mode, and from there to getting a little harder mode, etc. My expertise will grow. So being in ridiculously easy mode is exactly where I need to be. It is perfect. It is right. There is no other place that's more perfect for me to be. What if in your life right now, ridiculously easy mode is where you need to be? Where you need to give more of yourself? What if there are untold treasures waiting around the edges of ridiculous easy mode that you have just been ignoring and overlooking? Because in your mind, you've been thinking, you've been accumulating a different storyline, which is only hard mode gets you the riches. Only hard mode gets you what you want. Only hard mode gets you the success, the promotion. And what is hard mode to you? Hard mode is the thing you don't like as well. Takes longer, it's rougher, it's more difficult. You don't really enjoy it. You have to do it for some reason or another. Just stop and think about this energetically for a moment. What you're saying is the path of energy, the path of spending your time, of your being that you dislike, that is difficult for you, that is full of resistance for you, that doesn't move fast or flowing for you. You're saying that is the important one. That's where I need to spend my time. Really? Like when you put it like that, it seems kind of weird. It's like that old saying in business, right? 20% of your customers yield 80% of your profit. Or, teachers, 20% of your students are going to be taking 80% of your time, which usually means the disruptive ones. So we get it in our heads that we need to be attending to the 20%. We need to be attending to the loud minority. We need to be attending to the tough stuff, the rough stuff, the stuff that doesn't work, the stuff that doesn't get us ahead, the stuff we have to slog through. That's where we say the gold is. And no doubt there's gold. But I bet you there's more gold in ridiculously easy mode. So I've kind of been making a little, not a bet with myself, but kind of a bet. I've got nothing really on the line here, but maybe I should put something on the line. Treat myself to a night out if. No, but I've been sort of making this bet that if I let myself go into ridiculously easy mode for a while, I will be supported. In fact, I might be amazed. I might be just kerflummoxed that I will be receiving payoffs. I'll be receiving more opportunities. I'll be receiving more response, more feedback, more of everything than I was getting pursuing ridiculously difficult mode. And for me, I can feel it even as I speak it. A sense of trust comes up that says, are you sure? Are you sure? Because maybe that won't happen. Maybe ridiculously easy mode is just, where nobody ever cares or sees you or sees your stuff or rewards you. And yeah, sure, you're good at it and it's your genius, but what if the world doesn't want you when you're doing all the stuff that really works? What if you won't get support? That's the fear. I mean, to be perfectly vulnerable, that is the fear that comes up. I'm sharing this with you because I know from the outside, sometimes it can seem like, oh, Summer is so successful. Look at her past. Look at all that she's done. She's so productive. She's got all this great stuff and, all these, companies she's built and da-da-da-da-da. I'm sharing this, though, because I still encounter this day to day. And just because I've surpassed certain things doesn't mean they don't kind of come crawling back at different, newer, perhaps higher levels of my life. And when you get successful, especially, you tend to want to duplicate that success the same way over and over, which leads to a lack of flexibility and flow, a lack of trying of new things. You guys ever hear the story of Kodak? Remember Kodak cameras? Everybody had one of their instant cameras back in around 1978. They were everything, growing like hotcakes. Unfortunately, Kodak didn't realize that digital was on the horizon. Digital came. Kodak was still making film. And all those drugstores around the U.S. stopped, developing their film because no one was walking in with old cameras anymore. They went under. They just kept doing more of what they said was working. They didn't flow. They didn't adapt. So if you've been successful and you're still doing more of what's working or what you've been told should be working, I want you to now think, maybe I need to go back into ridiculously easy mode. And maybe I need to trust that for a while. And maybe ridiculously easy mode is actually where I started way back when. But way back when I had nothing attached to this thing that I love or that I'm trying to do. Right? It was when you just planted a garden for the sake of planting a garden. You hadn't yet started your community-wide co-op. That became ridiculously hard mode. But you were just flying through time, growing these big, beautiful vegetables. Ridiculously easy mode means trust it. Don't forget. Don't distrust something that just comes naturally, that you're already good at, that you lose yourself in. What if life comes up and surrounds you and says, oh, thank God, they've finally gotten back to it. We were wondering when they were finally going to get back to the true jewel in all of this before they got spun out on learning how to do this or that or market or coach or blah, blah, I'll build a business or all these other things, do management classes or, try and get promotions, whatever it may be. They went right back into the jewel of what they were already there in their zone, getting even better and better at what they were ridiculously ridiculously easy at doing. That is a tongue twister phrase, actually. You try saying it. Ridiculously easy mode. It's a lot of consonants bubbling around in there. Goodness sakes, I can't talk at all. So that's the last idea I want to leave you with. Ridiculously easy mode? Oh, it's also the place where what you put in, you tend to get better at a lot faster. Like it's just natural. You're already good at it. It's so easy to get great at it. Now, who gets rewarded? What happens if you build that first? then worry about all the other stuff. And when I think back on my own career, especially my career around flow dreaming, I built flow dreaming first. I wrote books on it. I recorded audios, or back then CDs, all about it. I taught class after class after class. This for me was building, building, building. Only later did I start to say, oh, well, my website's got to support more traffic. I've got to do that. Well, I need to have more employees come in so that I can expand. Well, I need to. All that stuff got built later. The jewel, that's what got built probably the first 4-5 years easily of the work that I pioneered. And I'm seriously looking back at that period and thinking, what was I doing that led to everything else? Is that something that I want to turn my heart toward again? And if so, what will that look like? Will it be more books? Will it be other things? Will it be new and different things that still are in the realm perhaps of making people feel good? So please think about this yourself. Think in your own life. What would happen if I turned back to ridiculously easy mode, plowed into it, all in, and just watched where it may bring me, putting aside all that other stuff for a little while? I'll tell you, part of what that did for me is I've mentioned that I've been playing around with something called sleep stories. I recently was invited to be on several apps for meditation. You can find me now on the Insight Timer app as well as Aura. And one of the things I did is found that these sleep stories have become really, really popular. And I thought, God, that sounds kind of fun. Right? I'm not building a business around sleep stories. It just sounds darn fun. So I said, I'm going to write some of those. I'm going to record some of those. Reminds me of what I used to do with my kids year after year when they were young. Reminds me of my flow dreams, but for a different purpose. So I did. If you guys want to find them, you can look up my YouTube channel, right? Sleep Stories with Summer. Not much there yet, but check it out. Why not? It's fun. It's ridiculously easy is what I'm getting at. And I want to see where ridiculously easy takes me. I want to see where ridiculously easy takes you. So I leave you with that, as well as with a referral to something that I think will help you. Every time I do, of course, an episode, I think about this big library of stuff I've made. What will help you? What will support you on this topic? And I think the very best thing is a flow dream I have called Everything is Easy. I mean, just straight up. There's also another one called The Yellow Brick Road of Yeses. And there are playlists around this. So just go to flowdreaming.com. You can use the little search function, type in easy, type in the yellow brick road, and just find ones, right? Good morning, great day, right? That's a playlist that you just play it in the morning, you play it at night, and it sets you up. An easy day, a flowing day, a day full of all good and right things. Easy, 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 easy. So if you're interested, go check those out. Get them into your daily program, whatever it is that you do for yourself, or your weekly program, if that's all you have time for. And let me know how it goes. You guys, I'm always approachable. I'm always available. Lots of people email me. I email back, summer@flowdreaming.com. I also invite you to join me on my Facebook group. It's called I Love Flow Dreaming and or Instagram. All right, guys, lots of love. Go out there, get ridiculously easy, get into your flow, do your flow dreaming practice. Lots of love. And I'll see you next time for more flow dreaming. Flow dreaming is a universe. On the one hand, it's extraordinary. It's a technique that can change everything in your life. You can feel better, manifest your dreams, heal. It does it all. And to learn it, well, just go to flowdreaming.com and get my free kit that teaches you how. Look under free goodies, and you can also download the Flowdreaming app, which has the kit right there for you. But Flowdreaming keeps going. Once you fall in love with the technique, you might want to know how to use it better, how to think better, feel better, really change inside. That's why I have Flow On, a monthly membership where I teach people a new way of using flow in their lives every single month. Check it out. Finally, you might be perfectly ready for Me School. I know you've heard a lot about Me School, but maybe you haven't actually looked it up yet. It's my most effective program, a culmination of 20 years of teaching. It's been taken by hundreds of students over the last 7 years. And this is where you really light that fire that grows, and you make this a life worth living. You can find it all at flowdreaming.com, so go check it out and at least write yourself a note, even if you can't check it out this minute. And while you're at it, subscribe to the podcast.